when a relationship ends between two people, you part ways. And that also means that you are both going to be at different levels in your processing of the grief, of the death of what once was, and all of that. And even months or years later, there can be certain triggers that pop up and you're like, whoa, I thought I dealt with that shit. Do not go back into the story that you want them or miss them or can't make it without that other person. Oftentimes what those triggers are trying to show you is that there's something unresolved within you that you need to address. And for me, watching my ex thrive, it's a beautiful thing, but it's really triggering for me because I walked away with literally having to start over after.
You know what, man? This is so funny. This is what every guy who goes through a breakup should, try to accomplish. This is what he should strive to achieve, is to become so successful that she looks at you and feels this way. It's a trigger. She's literally admitting it triggers her. Isn't that what she's saying here? She's seeing her ex-husband thrive, and she's triggered. I mean, ultimately, this is what every guy should strive for whenever they get broken up with, or anytime they exit a relationship or a marriage. It's just like, well, man, what can you do? Try to become better, and then hope that you become so much better, and you start thriving so much that your ex-wife opens up her front camera and has to kind of initiate a therapy session on her own using her phone, and I guess publishes it online as well. Can't even just you have to publish it. You can't just record it and then say, I feel better. No, you gotta publish it as well. I guess that's how triggered she is. She wants everybody to know. I would say she's probably trying to come at this from an angle of victimhood and wants sympathy. And that's why she went as far as to publish it, hoping that people would come in and chime in. And you know what? Yeah, obviously that's what it is. She wants her fellow woman to come in and hype her up. She wants motivation. She wants people to tell her, yeah, that may be happening, but you did the right thing. You got this. You go, girl. Get after it. And, fair enough, right? But again, it's just kind of funny to me how she had just openly admitting this man thriving after their split. It triggers her. This woman is triggered.
12 years of starting over, of wondering if I'm going to be able to keep a roof over my head with my boys, and not being able to just go out and play in our backyard like we used to, and wondering
well, this is where the responses start coming from us, myself and other people, and then people will hear our responses and they'll say, oh, you guys are so mean, you guys are so misogynist, you guys just hate women. Well, look, I'm hearing this woman say she now misses the times where they had a backyard and her boys could go out back and play, and she had a happy life, she had a happy family, but she insisted on divorcing him. And then I can already hear the people, oh, well, yeah, because he was abusive. He physically harmed her. He was toxic. He was a narcissist. He was an emotional manipulator. She wasn't happy. She wanted to get out of there. She was feeling oppressed. He wasn't holding up his end of the deal. He was being a lazy, incompetent husband, right? I can already hear all the normal talking points coming from these people. And, it's just like, yeah, maybe some of that was true. Hopefully not. Hopefully he wasn't abusing her physically and doing all of these things. I would guarantee that wasn't the case, because she's keeping up with this guy and seeing him thrive. If it really was just she was 100% certain that this guy was a complete POS and she is 100% better off without him, I don't see why she would really be triggered, like she literally said, over his success, because she would know, yes, he's succeeding, but my goodness, my life is so much better without him, and he was so bad for me that I'm completely okay with being separated from him. But that doesn't seem to be the case. It seems to be she's like, maybe, oh, we had a backyard and like the boys could hang out. Oh, and he's doing really well financially. Oh, he looks good. Maybe I didn't make the right decision. And that's my point of view, is like, if she really was 100% certain, if he really was that bad, she wouldn't give a shit if he was out here thriving. Would she really care? I don't think she would, because she knows, oh, this guy was hitting me, or he was so damn abusive that I'm so much better off without him. But that isn't the case. She's looking at his life. She's triggered. She's thinking about their backyard they had. And this is when our responses start coming, and we say, maybe you shouldn't have divorced him.
I'm going to be able to feed them and survive. The thing is, I've never been more rich spiritually and emotionally and feeling free. So as much as I miss the security and the stability and the toys and the cush life, I wouldn't trade any.
Oh, so she just misses the stuff. She's like, yeah, I just miss the stuff. I miss the stuff.
Of it for where I am right now. So if you yourself are in a position where you are thinking of leaving your partner, or you're, in the thralls of it and processing the grief, or whatever the case may be,
just do it. Just do it, because I'm super happy. Look at me. I'm super happy. You should just do it. Just leave him. Just do it. If you feel even the slightest bit that you might be happier, just leave him. This shit is so bad. I was looking at a graph today, and it's kind of going viral on Twitter. And it's a graph, and it is showing how millennials are just not getting married. It's extremely low. And, man, personally for me, in my life, I saw a lot of people around me get divorced. I saw a lot of divorce in my life. And it's always kind of been in the back of my mind, even from as a young boy. It's just like, why do people keep getting married? I don't get it. What's going on here? It just kind of seems like it doesn't work out. And yeah, it's just like, and then we have women like this, and there's like a culture with this mindset, and it just seems like women are really happy to encourage other women to like just divorce their spouse or their partner. Just divorce them. Just do it. It's like they legitimately believe and view marriage as if they're wearing chains, and it's some sort of oppression mechanism to just completely ruin their lives. And it's kind of silly. So, but I mean, looking at this woman, you think she's gonna vote for Trump? No, she's very obviously a left-leaning lib type who most certainly is a feminist. And obviously, I'm not saying that a lot of people who would vote for Trump actually are feminists, because we're starting to see a lot of that. It's kind of funny how the past couple of years we've really been seeing these people who claim to be just like tradcons, and they're really not. They're actually very egalitarian. They're very feminist. They're very anti-patriarchy. A lot of these God-fearing women don't like the word submission. It's just full of it. A lot of it isn't. They're not congruent. So we're seeing a lot of this go on. But to go back to my original point, it's funny how we have a culture, and we have a lot of women like her saying, hey, just do it. Just do it. Just eat the apple. Just take a bite. Just end the divorce. Just end the marriage. Just initiate the divorce, and you will be happier, healthier. Even your children will be happier that their father is no longer around as frequently. Yeah, the children. Yeah, but you. Maybe the children will miss their parents. Maybe the children will feel a yearning for their other parent. when they're at their dad's or when they're at their mom's. Maybe they'll miss their other parent. And yes, maybe they will never get to experience both of their parents in the same household ever again for the rest of their life. But you know what? You will be happier. So do it. Just do it. And it's like a lot of them aren't even doing it for good reasons. You know, it actually, it's not because they're being physically harmed. It's really just because it's like, yeah, I think the grass is greener. Yeah, I'm looking at the clock here and I think I'm done. I think the time's up. I think it's time for me to leave your ass.
Just know that there is a light on the other side. And you're doing this, you made this choice for you, for your peace.
You. It's all about you. Love yourself. You. These women love themselves so damn much, don't they? It's all about the self-love. That's a big thing we've seen come out and become very popular and prevalent, is this idea of women becoming very into themselves and loving themselves and doing a lot of self-work or something like that. A lot of self-help, obviously. Self-help has always been around, but it's kind of gotten to the point of like weirdly self-obsession and like loving yourself. And yeah, a lot of it is just about prioritizing yourself over everyone, no matter what. It's just extreme levels of selfishness. And yeah, it's getting to the point where they aren't capable of being wives. They aren't capable of being girlfriends. So you preach to these women, independent. Don't need no man. Just hammer it home for decades. And of course, this is what we're going to get. They don't want to stick it out. Why should they? Shit, they might even get a paycheck. They might even get some money.
For your well-being. And that, in and of itself, is worth its weight in gold.
He made me feel like I was a burden, that I was too much for things that I could not control, for just being human. That my very basic requirements for existence were just too hard. This poor excuse for a man had me thinking that I was broken and wrong to my very core, that I was not capable of even the smallest of tasks, that the very
So she's reading a script. Let's keep that in mind.
essence of me was muddied and
This is going to turn into some form of poetry.
shattered. And the saddest part is, I believed him. He took the trust I had in him and used it against me.
How?
He tried to break me by projecting his deepest fears of himself upon me.
He tried to break me by projecting his deepest fears of himself onto me. What? I mean, what does that mean? Could you be any more vague? What are you talking about? See, this is what I'm saying. This is a weird thing going on. This is absolutely, make no mistake, a romanticization, I don't know. A sort of like fetishization of like splitting up. It's like this weird, I don't know how to describe it. But they love to romanticize it. Fascinating stuff going on here.
But I broke free. Yes, I am deeply flawed and complex, but just like every other human being. And there is nothing wrong with me. I am whole and I am enough, just as I stand.
Why are the most loyal and boyfriend material guys single? This is what I constantly hear from other girls, and I have the answer. I think it all stems that women are programmed to see the ideal man as weak, beta, or sus. And that is why they always fall for the guy that cold approaches them and uses some cheesy, corny pickup line. But then they're surprised when 3 months later they got cheated on. I really think we need to stop romanticizing players and romanticize guys that are nervous to talk to women. Hear me out. I'm talking about
I mean, it's literally because of lack of a patriarchy and the way these women choose the men. It's like I said in the last video. It's their fathers aren't involved in the process. Brother is not involved. Any male figure that is related to them by blood is completely out of the process of helping them pick a man. Religion, nope. Nope. Cultural shame, nope. Good influence from matrons, nope. There's really none of that. And so it's a free-for-all. Feminism, yep. Promiscuity, yep. Independent, yep. Don't need no men, yep. Dating apps, yep. Instagram, yep. It's just a shit show. And so what we see here, guys, ultimately, I said it in the last video and I looked into it a little bit more. And yes, we have more female ancestors than male ancestors because of polygyny. So right now what we see a lot of polygyny. Certainly, we see a lot of women leaning into these guys who are pre-selected. This is hypergamy, choosing a small percentage man. And pre-selection certainly is what these women look for. And this is why when women talk about, specifically these tradcon women, talk about how male virginity and female virginity is equal. It's so stupid. There's no facts. There's nothing backing that up. And so women do not like male virgins. Give me a fucking break. We see it time and time again. These guys who are pre-selected, then the women will go after that type of guy. It's absolutely asinine to suggest that male virginity and female virginity is similar, because it simply isn't.
the guys who overthink and do not want to cold approach a girl because they do not want to come across as a creep. And girls just don't get it. They're always like, shoot your shot. Like, the worst she can say is no. No, ladies, that is not the worst she can say. Trust me. You see, most guys can easily hold a conversation, but they're afraid to start it. It should be seen as cute or endearing when a guy is nervous to talk to you. He's fidgeting. He's not making direct eye contact all the time, or maybe stepping back and giving you space. Oh, and side note, you're not going to find these guys at the clubs or parties. They're at home.
With the way my dating life is going right now, I feel like I'm going to be single for a long time. Like, a long time. I literally just cannot stand. I cannot stand these vanilla ass men. You're boring. You don't intrigue me. And at this point, I'm like losing faith in all men. I just feel like they all want one thing. And if that's what you want, I'm the wrong bitch. Go somewhere else. I cannot tell another man what I like to do on my free time. I can't do it. And I don't give my attention to anybody. And when I'm finally like, oh, like, he's cute, like, let me talk to him. You're boring! You suck! And I feel like from past experiences, I have the tendency to pick the shitty ones. So, like, I'm just gonna stay away. I'm done. I'm logging off. No more for Bella right now. And yeah, maybe I do get a little bit jealous when I see couples out in public. I'm like, damn. That looks nice. Haven't had that in a long time. When is it my turn? When is it my turn? At the end of the day,
Goodness.
It's not my plan. So, we're just chilling.
What a world. See, and this is why I say it's gonna be funny when in like 5 to 10 years she's gonna be making these same videos, except this time she's gonna be asking, where are the good men? Where are they at? Where are the good men? And you know, vanilla men are typically, they are going to be good men. They're going to be the guys who are good for you. They're going to be the guys who have a good job, good stable job. They're there for you. They treat you right. And you know what, guys? If you haven't really noticed yet, it's not really what they're looking for. Specifically these modern ladies. it just is. You know what I've noticed is that what we see a lot of times is we'll see these ladies, we'll see these women shaming and talking down on these red pill guys, right? And then on the other hand, calling these good boys who don't push back, calling these good boys who simp, calling them real men. Those are the good men. But these women are not attracted to those men. You see what I'm saying? It's like they're quick to call these red pill men and refer to them negatively. And then these good Christian men who submit and comply and are members of the gynocracy, good trad con, God-fearing boys, they'll call these men real men. Say, these are the good men. These are the men people should emulate. These are the men should be more like. And yet, we continue to see time and time again, these good men are referred to as vanilla men when these women are being real honest and when they're not grifting and feeding everyone a load of shit. When they're being honest, they'll say, you know what? These good men, kind of boring. Something's missing with them. They're kind of vanilla. Have you noticed that? So I was just thinking about that. I think it's interesting. It's like, it's gotten to the point, you guys, if a woman ever calls you like, you know what, you're a real man. Like, I don't want to hear that actually. It's like an insult at this point. I must have slipped up somewhere. I must be simping hardcore because that's the only time these women will throw that out. They'll throw it out when you've been a good boy. It's like, oh, you're a real man. You're a good boy. What you do ultimately benefits womankind, even if it's at the expense of yourself. It's just, that's what I've noticed. It's like, oh, you're a good boy. Give you a pat on the head. Good boy. You're a real man. You pass. Now let me go over here and bark at these red pill men. You passed. But I'm going to go give my attention to these guys and see if I can browbeat them into submission. Because we don't like what they're saying over there. Even though I am a God-fearing Christian and I am a trad woman who's on Twitter making a career out of being online. Now, that's ironic, isn't it? Certainly is a grift for a lot of these ladies. Certainly. You'll see these chicks. They're all feminists. All of them. It's silly. It's silly to think anything contrary. They're all feminists. They don't want to be at home. They don't want to get off the internet. They want to be on the internet. They want their opinions to be heard. They want to be loud and proud. They want to get involved in politics. They want to vote. Sounds a lot like feminists to me. They don't want to submit to their husbands. They want to pick and choose the Bible they follow. They don't want to be congruent. They want to take in former OF chicks and force the men to marry them. They want to shame men for talking about how when women get over 30, they're a little bit less desirable than their former 20-year-old self in the dating pool. These women are getting offended over this stuff, and they're supposed to be the based ones. They're supposed to be we're Republicans over here. We believe in traditionalism. We reject feminism. No, you don't. You're all feminists. You believe in egalitarianism. You don't believe in submitting to your husband. It's all a load of crap. And so that's why it's fine. You don't refer to me as a real man. That's fine by me. I don't want to be. Because then you'll fall into this category of vanilla. He's a good guy. He's such a good man. He's such a real man. But you're kind of boring and vanilla. Anyways, I'm going to leave it there. So if you made it this far, I would appreciate subscription and a like. And I'll see you later.